Hi, I'm Kelsey. I broke my leg about a month ago playing soccer, and it was a broken tibia and fibula. I've been healing and I'm still on a long cast, but I thought I'd just share with you guys some tips that I have that made my life easier having a broken leg, and just kind of what I went through if you're going through the same thing, because I know it's nice to just hear that someone else has been through it too, I guess. So the first thing, the first week of having a broken leg is the worst. Like, I thought, if this is gonna go on for a super long time, it's gonna be like terrible, but it gets a ton better. But the first week, I'd say some main things to do are to make sure you're timing out your meds right. So I was prescribed a narcotic and then just like a super Advil. I don't know what it was actually called, but it was like just a really powerful Advil. And I took it like every few hours and like timed it out. My mom helped me do that. And it's really important because just so you're getting the right type of medication at the right time, which is super obvious, but anyways, so that was helpful. And I tried to wean myself off of medication as fast as possible, just because it kind of made my stomach hurt, and it's just, I don't think it's very good for you, and I've heard it can like slow the healing process. So if you like are in a ton of pain and need medication, then of course take what you're prescribed. But for me, like, I saved some of my medication and just took it before I like had a special occasion. So I just graduated my senior year of high school, so I had like graduation and grad parties and stuff to go to. So I would take like a more powerful medication before I did that, just so it would be like painless and I'd just be able to enjoy wherever I was. Another thing is to eat the right type of food. I ate a ton of yogurt, which is like really good for bone healing. Like salmon and like leafy greens is really good, just like healthy food in general. And this is kind of weird to say, but the medication that you're on will probably make you kind of constipated. So like making sure you're eating fruits a lot helps too, and just staying hydrated. And speaking of hydration, the bathroom is such a pain at first, but you'll get good at it super fast, and it's also weird to talk about, but that's okay. I actually had a dip stand that I used to use the restroom, which if you don't know what it is, it's like an exercising thing where you hold it and like dip down. But if you don't have one of those, what I do now is like, we moved it out of there because it looked weird, but I just like hold onto the back of the toilet to lower myself down, which works for me. But you'll probably find out something that works for you. I don't know. Yeah, everyone learns different things. And I just crutch around my house to do that. But I have a wheelchair for like being out for long periods of time. Some things that help the first week go by faster is having good TV shows. I finished watching Parks and Rec finally, and then having friends come over a lot, because it does get like super boring and it's kind of sad, and I felt like I was missing a lot, like it was my senior year and everyone else was doing stuff. And I also had to do homework, which was a pain, but what helped me with that is I have a lap desk. I'm actually using it right now, and that was really helpful because you're not going to want to like sit up at a desk like early on. And then I also had friends come over to help me study for finals, and this is the summertime, so you're probably not dealing with that, but just in case you're watching it later, that helped me. It's just like my friends came over because they just brought all their study stuff and like quizzed me, so I didn't have to worry about like all my paperwork and all that stuff. And like teachers are super understanding. Most of them let me do everything at home, which was super nice. Oh, showers are kind of a pain also. And what I did for that is obviously I sat down in the chair and then just had another chair to put my foot on, and use like a handheld sprayer. And also, if you're like just starting this journey, we bought cast covers at first to put over my long cast. Like, I don't even think I've shown you my cast yet, but it's like super long, and so like we got super long cast covers, and they actually kind of hurt to put on because the top part's like super tight. So I actually ended up just using like a trash bag and duct tape, which like you really got to duct tape that thing a lot, because I got it wet once and then I had to sit with a blow dryer for like a half an hour. So just like tape that thing up. And I used like a handheld sprayer, and that was really nice. But if like showers are really painful or they're like upstairs and you're downstairs and like the stairs are the worst, because they are. I had wipes, like body wipes, which like doesn't really cut it for a shower, but I had like wipes and dry shampoo for like the in-between time, I guess, which made me feel more clean and like human. The first week also, like laying in the same position, I had my foot elevated pretty much like most of the day with ice on it. Like I iced and elevated all the time. And that like made my leg sore because like you're always kind of sideways. And so I used heating pads and like sat on them or like put them underneath my back, which was like a super pro tip. And I also have one of those like hand massagers that like vibrates, and I actually used that too, which like felt super good. And so then after like a week, I started to get pretty confident, like crutching around and like going places. And so I was going to like graduation parties and stuff, and I was on some gravel and my crutch slid out and I fell over and it hurt like heck. It was so bad. And I actually like split my chin open, but it's healing, so that's awesome. But like it hurt super bad and I was like crying, and we went to the urgent care because I was like, I broke my leg again, like this is terrible. We got it x-rayed, it was totally fine, and that just made me a lot less paranoid. Like you should be careful about your leg obviously, but like there's no need to be paranoid about it, because they cast your leg really tight and it's like it's not going anywhere. So yeah, be careful, not paranoid. Also for like wearing clothes and stuff, my cast, when I first put it on, they left room for swelling. I got a new cast now that's smaller, so it's a lot easier, but my first cast was like super big and it was kind of a pain to pull anything over them. So my mom bought me like some cute flowy shorts, and there's a lot of cute ones, and like some underwear that's like more covering, I guess. And so that made it a lot easier to change. And I actually, like when I change, I use my crutch as like another hand to get it around my foot, which probably didn't make sense, but you know, if you're in this situation, maybe it did, I don't know. Wiggle your toes a lot, your doctor probably told you to, but it just helps like keep the circulation going. And also, when I first broke my leg, I don't know if I told you I broke it, but I broke it at soccer practice. It was just an accident. Some girl fell on it and it was like a tackle and it just broke, and super unfortunate. We were about to go to playoffs, so I know like whenever you break your leg, it's not going to be convenient and it sucks and stuff, but I just try to think like everything happens for a reason. And also though, like there are things to make it better, and this is one of the things. Is I went to the ER right afterwards. I went in an ambulance to the hospital, and in the ER they set my leg. So I probably should have said this earlier, but a lot of people get surgery for broken legs and they get like a rod inserted, which was an option for me, but I heard it can like cause knee pain, and I guess it wasn't the best thing to do in my situation. I'm 18 years old, but like, so I guess they do surgery for like adults, but I was still like young enough not to do it. I don't know exactly how that worked. My doctor just said it was the better option not to do it. So they did what's called a closed reduction. So if you had this, I had the same thing. And if you don't, then like some of these tips probably still apply to you. But basically he just like shoved my leg back together and like set it and then casted it while holding it. And it hurt like so much, but it's okay. But anyways, at the hospital, they just put it in a splint, and my break, so the tibia was broken like pretty straight, but the fibula was like totally off, but I guess that doesn't matter because it's not weight bearing. And the ER people honestly were not nice at all, and I didn't really like them at all, but I know they're super busy, so it's like they don't have time to be like super kind, but I didn't really like it at all. And so my tibia broke, but it was still like aligned, which was really good. But after the girl splinted it, I went in the next morning to the orthopedic, and he was amazing. And he told me, number one, that they should have called him at the hospital so he could come in and put it in a cast that night, which they didn't do. And also that if they're gonna put it in a splint, they should x-ray it after they put it in a splint to make sure they do it right. So if someone's casting your leg or putting it in a splint, make sure they x-ray before and after to make sure that they did it right. Because what happened to me is the girl who put a splint on my leg did it like crooked or something, and my bone actually got super off, which was like super disappointing. But so they ended up having to shove it back together, and then they casted it. which hurt a lot, but it was okay. Also, bring Sharpies with you everywhere because people always want to sign your cast, and it's kind of sad to be like, oh, I don't have any Sharpies. So just like bring it in a bag, and you're not going to be able to carry stuff in your hands anyway. So like bringing like a drawstring bag where you go is super nice just to have some stuff with you. Okay, so Monday the 13th of May. So I broke it on May 2nd, and so May 13th was my second appointment with my orthopedic, and I was really optimistic, and I was like, I'm getting in a shorter cast, like, woo, let's go. Turns out I was stuck in the same cast for 2 more weeks over my graduation, and I was like, dang, this sucks so much. But I guess like it's better that than moving too early and screwing it up. And my cast was getting really loose, and it actually put a ton of weight on my ankle. So my ankle hurts so much, and like, you know, when you stand up, the blood rushes down and it hurts so much. But I just like stood up slowly, and he told me like it's totally fine to walk around, because I was like, am I like hurting it more by doing this? Because it hurts so much when you stand up because of all the blood rushing down, and like my cast was so heavy. But it's fun, and I just like stand up slow. And so during like, as the pain's going away and your life's getting back to normal, like I tried to get my life back to normal as soon as possible. I was sleeping in the living room during the first week just because stairs were the worst, but I tried to get back up to my room as soon as possible, and I actually was sleeping in a lower bed in my room because it was hard to get my leg like super high to get into my bed, but now like I'm in my regular bed and like back to normal-ish, I guess. And part of that I think is having like a goal a day. So I like the first week you're just like avoiding pain, but after that, like try to have like one event of the day or like something to accomplish. So it's not just like it's during the summertime for me. So I'm like getting outside, I'm hanging out with friends, I'm doing lots of crafts. So just try to like make the most of this. And it is time like that you're gonna have sitting around. And so if there's something that you wanted to do, like maybe you wanted to take up painting or like learning a language or something like that, like utilize the time that you have. I've like made a ton of jewelry and painted with friends and stuff, and it's been fun. Like just make the most of it. It's not like the first choice obviously, but it can be like a good time. I'm looking down at my notes. So if you're in the early processes of having your leg broken, bumps hurt so much like in the car and stuff. And I actually sat in the car, I don't know how, like what your car's like, but I sat in the car sideways and like buckled sideways and had my leg like laying across the seat on a pillow, which was like awesome. And I had like blankets in there. It was my own little cozy den like in the back of the car. And bumps hurt a ton. And like in my wheelchair, if someone's pushing me, bumps like did not feel good. But my sensitivity toward bumps is like totally gone, and I can go down like a bumpy road in a wheelchair and it doesn't hurt, which like if I told myself like 3 weeks ago, I'd have been like, oh my gosh, that's amazing, because like every bump hurt. But yeah, it gets better. And if someone is pushing you, or like you're going in a car with someone new, just like communicate what hurts and what doesn't hurt. One of my friends, one of my cousin's really good friends broke, she broke something, and not broke, but she had an injury on her leg, and told me a good tip was to shorten my crutches, because after a while like it gets to be a lot of pressure like on your arm. And so if you shorten the arm length, you put more pressure like on your hand, and so it doesn't hurt your arm as much. And I have towels on my crutches too, but it still starts to hurt. So Monday the 3rd, okay, I already talked about that. All right, May 28th was my third doctor's appointment with my orthopedic. I thought I was gonna get in a shorter cast this time too, but turns out that they actually x-rayed me and was like, we didn't see as much growth as we wanted. Just honestly, I don't wanna say set your sights low, but setting them high can be pretty crushing when you go to the doctor's office and they're like, we're gonna leave you in this one for 3 more weeks. And you're like, oh, that's super fun. But anyways, they were gonna leave me in my first cast, which was getting super big because you lose muscle so fast, and my leg's like jello and it's super small and gross. But so for mine, they didn't want me to move my knee, and that's why my cast is so long. And they were gonna leave me in that, but I actually could move my knee because I had lost so much weight in my leg. And so I told them that, and they were like, oh, okay, well, we don't want you doing that. So they ended up casting me in a skinnier cast. And actually during that process, I almost passed out, And so they should have like ginger ale on hand, and that's not to scare you if that happens to you, but I don't know why. I guess I just had a really strong response to them like touching my leg. It felt like really vulnerable because it was so small. But anyways, now I'm in a skinnier cast, and I just moved it so you can see it, but you can't see it. And it's a lot lighter, so it's nice, and it's not short, but like I've gotten used to having a long cast, so it's honestly not terrible. Yeah, so it's been just over 1 month now because it's June 4th, and I've been in this new cast that's still long but skinnier for a week. So I have 2 more weeks in it, and then we'll reevaluate. And again, you know, I'm still hoping for a shorter cast, and I think it's more realistic this time. But honestly, just like, it's a long process, and it can be kind of like stifling when you think about how long you're not going to be able to walk around and stuff. But there's so many fun things to do sitting down, and just like get together with friends, keep yourself busy, and yeah, just try to be positive. Yeah, I hope this helped a little bit. I was like super scared when I first broke my leg, and it was a super bummer. Like, I was at practice and we were almost going to playoffs, and I had to miss that, which was super bummer. And then I was wheeled out at graduation, so there's always going to be like something that you're missing, or like it can feel that way. But just, you know, make the most of it, and I think everything happens for a reason. So yeah, anyways, so best of luck in your journey, I guess, and I'll upload another video when I get out of this cast and when I get into a boot and like progress in this like process, I guess. So I hope this helped, and I'll pray that you just heal fast and that this is like as painless as possible. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, and you know, hope these tips helped. Bye. Okay, I put it up on a ledge and I can't reach it, so that was really awkward, but bye for real.